know, what happens is that there's always a kind of, it seems like throughout history, there's always a kind of simmering discontent, and people want to improve their lives in various ways. And what happens is that they lack a means to do so. So one time, people always say, like, well, why aren't more people protesting? And it seems to be that people don't protest when they don't believe that those tactics that they're going to use are actually effective. But when they suddenly see, oh, this is it, this could actually be the moment that things are going to change, and if I risk everything, if I risk arrest, if I risk getting beat up, if I risk my job, and I join a movement like Occupy Wall Street, then it might actually work. And so I think that activists and the role of an activist is to create new and innovative tactics and approaches. It could be something as like housing, or it can be something like a new technique of protest, which is Occupy Wall Street was basically the synergy of an Egyptian protest tactic with a Spanish protest tactic and brought to America. It was very consciously a tactical innovation from two countries, and we explained that in our initial tactical briefing. And so I think what gives people hope is the development of new forms of tactics, new forms of activism that actually seem to be effective. But of course, they only stay effective so briefly. And so it's a very difficult process of constant innovation and a willingness never to protest the same way twice, which is really, I think, Occupy's shortfall, is that our tactic was synonymous with our social movement. And so once occupying as a tactic stopped working, then the movement itself stopped working, which is not the way I think it's going to be in the future. I think that movements have to be able to then move on to a different tactic, and develop it more like that. Just my thinking about social media, I would say social networks are important on two fronts. Number one, they spread contagious moods. I think revolutions are actually caused by basically a sense of a special mood. During Arab Spring and during Occupy Wall Street, it was a kind of fearlessness, losing one's fear. And so social networks spread that mood globally. And the second great thing about social networks is that they allow kind of a real-time tactical innovation. So right now, you can tune into protests in Brazil or China, and if some sort of new tactic comes up, we can apply it in America within 24 hours, which is also what we saw with Occupy Wall Street. Within 24 hours after the Brooklyn Bridge arrest, everyone was occupying because they heard about it immediately on the social networks. So I think social networks are this kind of, are increasing the pace of tactical innovation, and they also disseminate a kind of revolutionary mood. So.